I just did a dab and my nose is running.
It's all right. Grab a tissue because I got to run my mouth for a minute.
Go for it, dude.
Back. Yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your Liberty Radio. It is a Friday night in covidland. It is February 7th, 2025, 1 week away from the big Hallmark holiday. We will not be celebrating, just if anybody wants to know. We don't celebrate any of the Hallmark holidays here in the Liberty Radio studio. We don't hardly celebrate much of anything at all. Candlemas passed last week and we didn't really do shit. But it is Friday night, which means it is time for you to be a part of Liberty Radio and let us know what is on your mind tonight. The link to get you into the stream is in the Liberty Radio Telegram channel, the new Prisoners Chat channel, the Liberty Radio Discord, and floated around to various other characters on the interwebs just to see who decides to pop in. You don't have to turn on your camera, but you will need to turn on your microphone. Otherwise, nobody can hear you. And that's not fun unless you like talking to yourself. Which, yeah, if you do, more power to you. We don't judge here. Just don't take up the entire damn show talking to yourself. That's all we ask.
Right?
Holy shit. Matt Finley has resurfaced.
Nice.
I thought he had disappeared.
Yeah. No, I think he was. I think we saw him Sunday on Mob Rules for a minute or so, and I think that's the last time I remember seeing him.
Right on. I just saw him pop up in the Rumble chat.
Nice.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, not at all.
So how's your week been, Coop?
Not too bad. Last week was shitty, dude. I didn't want to go to work. I don't want to do shit last week, dude. You know what I mean?
I feel like that most weeks.
Yeah. This week wasn't so bad, but I'm getting real tired of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of shit is that, Tom?
Yeah,
where are you working?
Specifically, which shit?
Working.
Oh, yeah,
being
yeah,
a slave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Letting the government and the IRS steal my fucking money while I work my ass off. So yeah, that's kind of.
Well, I mean, the last administration was on that demoralization campaign, whatever, hiring 79,000 more IRS people to bust the balls of the working people like us and try to, make sure we're more miserable, or money that we didn't know we owed is all of a sudden owed to them.
Well, here's the deal: is I pay my taxes, and not because I want to, but because they force me to. And throughout the years, I've known a few people, businesses, not pay their taxes, and then when fucking Biden or whoever added all those agents, they started fucking flipping the fuck out. They were like, "Oh my God, they're gonna fucking get me," and I'm like, "Well, pay your fucking taxes, you fucking asshole, and we'll come after you."
Well, that's
and
really kind of a coin flip. They do sometimes still come after you, even when you do pay your taxes.
Well, it's because you're probably doing something you shouldn't be doing, so.
That's the majority of the population.
Well, I mean, that's the whole premise.
When it comes to taxes, that's like fucking everybody.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Of mass surveillance, though, isn't it?
But here's the thing: is even though I know I'm a slave and all that shit, we still try to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife does our taxes, and she's not going to try to do any shady shit. But at the same time, she's going to look for every in and out when it comes to doing taxes to benefit us. So,
as well, you should.
Yeah.
I just did a quick search to see if there was any states that didn't have property tax, and
I don't think there's a single one.
What a surprise. No states in the U.S. completely lack property tax. However, some states have very low property taxes. For example, Hawaii has the lowest property tax at a rate of 0.27%.
Well, they have to do that because everything else is so fucking expensive in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like they're literally just gathering
Sorry,
up
go
the
ahead.
scraps through the property tax.
Can you imagine what a dozen eggs probably costs there right now?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, luckily they haven't gone up at all since the last time I checked, because I had to run to the grocery store yesterday to pick up a couple of things, and I
So
looked at it while I was there.
what are you paying for a dozen?
It varies depending on what you're looking to get, but the lowest was that I saw was $4.50, and I think the highest for a dozen was like $8.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Nobody around here is going to pay that for eggs, because like half the people in the county have chickens in their backyard.
Right.
So you can literally like go to your neighbor down the
I-
street and give them $5 for a dozen eggs, and they're happy and you're happy, and it's
Well,
actually
'cause
good business.
You know, I don't even mind paying $5 for a dozen eggs, even coming from a farmer, because I know it's going to be good shit. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have chickens, so I haven't even noticed the price of eggs.
Yeah,
Or-
we're only allowed to have 4 in the city limit, but I think we're going to get some anyway, just because, you know, fuck, we eat eggs like crazy around here.
Ain't nothing wrong with it as far as I
No.
can tell.
Good to have. You know what you're feeding them.
Yeah.
So I got a Ask Drizzle part of the show that I wanted to throw something out here, just
Oh, yeah?
creepy, and ask your insight. So we're all aware that there's people who have a foot fetish, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
like, what is their thing? Do they like jerk off to like pictures and videos of feet doing certain things?
Well, I mean, there's like a whole
Like, if it get me before you answer, and then there's like the whole like question, like, are they happy just with like seeing the feet and the feet touching them or whatever to like get them off, or do they like actually need feet to get them off, like physically get them off?
Right. I mean, no, I understand. I like, you want to understand more about like how they're wired. Like, why is it that they
Bingo.
are this way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I can't answer those questions with like any level of expertise whatsoever, because I have like an anti-foot fetish. Like, feet have the ability to turn me off. Like, the rest of her could be a 10, and if her feet are awful, it's a no-go. I can't do it.
Fuck it. Just put socks
I mean,
on her
there's-
feet, Driz.
Yeah,
There's
I
all
suppose,
kinds of
yeah.
people.
Paper bag strategy, right?
There's breast men, there's ass men, there's people who like
Leg men?
There's people who like men. There's also people who like chicks with dicks. There's also
Well, maybe I can kind of answer your question, because most guys, you know, like tits or they like ass. But me, I'm a vagina guy. I want to see the camel toe. You know what I'm saying? I like to eat pussy.
I always thought I
so,
was greedy
You know
because
what I'm
I
saying?
like the combination. I like the combination of tits and ass, but that isn't like a prerequisite or anything. But that was always my greedy fucking fantasy: the tits and the ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's most men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is.
I grew up poor in the land of plenty. So
Right?
that's what you
Well, I
got.
think we all did pretty much. I don't know. I may have had it a little bit better than most people, just because of the area that I was in. There's a little bit more in the way of, you know, financial resources circling around the fucking nation's capital like a giant dark storm. So that money does get filtered out into the community eventually.
It seems like the classes have changed from like the poor and the middle class and the rich. It seems like there's probably like 6 different levels or more of financial security in this current fucking panopticon.
I don't think there is any such thing as middle class anymore. Because
No,
one
not
of the
really.
things, one of the things that used to define the middle class was the wealth of manufacturing employment that was available. We don't have that anymore. We haven't had it for a long time. It doesn't look like it's really coming back anytime soon either.
Well,
So-
I guess it
That's
depends on what type of manufacturing you're talking about. Because like
That's
I used to work for a company that built like buildings. I welded them up,
Mhm.
and they considered that manufacturing. So like we still have a little bit of it here, you know what I'm saying, but not enough to like we did back in the day. You know what I mean?
well, the U.S. still does like large manufacturing, like the die casts for like the big things. They still
Right.
make that, and like the big equipment molds. They still make some of the big stuff, but as far as the everyday consumer nonsense, that's all outsourced to cheap
Yeah,
labor
that's
in
all
other
coming from
countries.
somewhere else.
But that's all coming to an end too.
Yeah.
You think
Well,
so?
I mean, I think that's what the whole Trump fucking thing is. I mean, technocracy is going to be the new thing. All of a sudden, we got these efficiency experts coming in and telling everybody what everybody already fucking knew all along, that the government just pisses our money away because a long time ago, someone decided that it's better to have an authoritarian communist dictatorship than to have people actually decide their own destiny. And now it's going to be under the technocracy veil. AI is going to determine what's right and what's wrong.
For you,
It's going to be,
and me. Yeah,
yeah,
you're
but
absolutely right. I mean, shit.
gonna be
Kissinger and
programmed by
Schmidt
the
were
people who
telling
were
us
already in
that
power.
back in 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that because I did, you know?
You are breaking up just a little bit, Rob. Just so you know, like it's not all the time. It's in and out, but it's probably you got something blocking the signal.
I'm on brimstone.
Great.
I made brimstone.
Let me see what I can
I don't
do.
know. I don't know how your house is laid out, so I don't know how far you are from the access point, how it's set up, whether there's a bathroom in between you and it or not.
Probably about 25 feet.
25 feet.
Nemo.
Again, depending on what's in the space between you and it, that can make a big difference.
Oh, well, I did, though.
I don't know. I
just
noticed.
door
Think
and some
about
open
that
space.
shit.
I noticed when I have my
Well,
cell phone close to my laptop, it fucks around with it.
That's interesting.
I just moved it away.
It
was
could be
sitting
something
right
else,
next to my
but
laptop.
I don't know.
Peak summoner class.
Sorry, Rob. I
I
didn't
don't
mean to
know.
interrupt you.
It's just magic waves in the air anyway. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
It's all up there
Right.
just to grab, dude. It's all up there.
I remember when cell phones first came out, and like setting them down next to a computer speaker, and the speaker would get all distorted and fucked up, and it'd be like, wow, that can't be good to be near
Right?
Which is a peak video.
I try to never hold that fucking cell phone in a pocket.
He's
Always in a
laggy.
hand away from me or sitting down away from me. All right, I'm gonna fix this. I'll be back.
All right, man.
It's funny because I seen him do this twice with his cigarette.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, it was actually it was a little bit worse than it was last week, I think. Although
Yeah.
the choppiness in the audio cleared up as soon as it started, the audio started lagging. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird, bizarre. I don't know. This shit's all black magic anyway. You know,
You think so?
it got to be at least like 50%. You know.
Oh, wait, you're not even using the mic anymore?
Well, I just kind of believe in magic. I don't think there's like a black magic or a white magic. I think it has to do with intent.
Well, yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
that's what puts it into one category or the other.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I just
So
magic.
there was I think it was Wednesday. It's Tuesday or Wednesday. It was announced that the entire Central Intelligence Agency received the federal buyout offer that other
I saw
departments
something.
had been getting.
Yeah.
C would be better.
I don't remember seeing if their deadline was the same as everybody else or not.
Gotcha.
And I'm
Now,
curious.
are any of those people taking that offer?
I don't want to say it.
Most of their workers are contractors anyway.
Some of them are. Well, yeah.
Paid with drug funds.
Yeah, some of them are, but some of them are actually like the director of the CIA is an actual employee of the agency, is paid a wage through the federal government.
I will invite him to this party in 10
I would imagine that William Burns, you know, he was given his offer.
Right.
If he hasn't resigned already, which is what a lot of them seem to have been doing, is like, oh, fuck this, I'm out of here.
I mean, I think U.S. aid is synonymous with the CIA for as long as any of us know. And when their like dirty laundry is starting to get thrown out into the mainstream media that everybody can see, it's disgusting. And to see the people trying to get up and defend it, that's even more disgusting. Oh, the people are going to starve. Well, no country has complained yet. It's only the bureaucrats and the fucking politicians complaining that USAID's not going to be financing transgender plays in the Ukraine and Sesame Street in Pakistan or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Well, I read something where Trump he got rid of something. It was a $50 million deal that they were sending condoms to the soldiers in Gaza, the Palestinians. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, what the fuck do they need that for? Like, those motherfuckers are dying over there. They don't need no goddamn condoms.
Well, it's for when they're doing the raping. You know, they can practice safe rapage. Gotta always think about the public health angle. Yeah. That's where the money is, Coop.
I mean, they're slamming humanity in general, aren't they? Are they trying to kill 90% of us?
Well, they would like to. I don't know if they can actually achieve that. That's the thing, because they try all these different things to, you know, make us as weak and as feeble as possible. And seems like there's a large number of us that are still able to get around all of that and function, and in some cases even thrive in spite of it.
So if you can get around the poison food supply and find some organic source, and you have a water supply that you purify that isn't poisoned, like how do you detoxify yourself from the shit they're spraying in the air?
You probably have to do it every day.
Probably. I would think charcoal would probably help.
That's what Tallulah says. So I might give it a shot. See if I can get some.
I did. I got a bottle of, I think it was like a 90-day supply. There's 90 pills in the bottle. And basically what I did is 500 milligrams of activated charcoal. Took it with my coffee first thing in the morning. And I mean, I could feel something going on in my stomach.
Right.
A couple hours after I took it, it was wild. I don't know. At the end of it, like I don't know if I felt much different, but I feel healthier than I did before. I can say that. I feel just kind of overall better than I did before.
Well,
that's good.
If you give the eugenics crowd any credit at all, you got to believe that if they're spraying shit in the air, they know that there's an antidote. And,
there's a way to counteract it.
Exactly.
There always is, Rob.
Well, I think it's one of the fundamental laws of this realm is everything has to have its mirror opposite. You know, nothing
Yeah.
can exist just by itself.
Yeah, well, they probably know that. You know what I mean?
Well, they know a lot of that shit, and they
Yeah.
use it against us on a daily basis. Like the whole law of attraction thing. Like if you go on YouTube and you do just a search for the law of attraction, you will get thousands of videos that pop up, and pretty much all of them are absolute garbage. Just
Right.
like a bunch of Gnostic gobbledygook and nonsense that's not going to do anybody any good. But if you actually take the time and sit down and study historically what was documented as the law of attraction and you apply that to the reality that you perceive, you can kind of see what they're talking about as far as being able to draw things to you in this realm.
Well, what I've noticed from my YouTube algorithms is they really want me to watch Jimmy Dore, and they really
Oh
want me
yeah,
to
yeah,
watch,
yeah.
and they really want me to buy the bearskin hoodie.
You get that one too, huh?
Relentlessly.
I haven't seen the bearskin
I don't
hoodie yet.
on my YouTube feed. I don't get bombarded with Jimmy Dore, but I do. You know, like they shoot me his short videos or whatever. But
I mean,
most
if you like don't know Jimmy Dore's limitations, his information is usually 100% solid. So it's not like it's bad information, but Jimmy Dore is annoying as fuck. He just repeats like the same shit, and he'll replay a video of somebody saying something stupid over and over and over again. And he reads everything off a fucking script that somebody probably gave him, which disappointing for a guy who's supposed to be a comedian.
well,
He
he does have a
does.
lot of writers.
He gets a lot of jokes
Should
from
be able to.
Twitter.
I would think you'd be able to riff on. I think you'd be as a comedian. You should be able to riff off of that ridiculousness of the mainstream.
Well, that's not what they're doing though. They're
Hello,
not.
by the way,
there
am I
to-
here?
Yeah, you're here, RBL.
Hey, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear the rest of us?
Yeah, law of
Okay.
attraction. Before you guys get too far away from that law of attraction, that's where I came in. I just got 1,200 records today, and hundreds of them are jungle, techno, hip hop, like the kind I've been
Wow.
looking for the past year and a half as I've gone to every flea market and every thrift shop and consignment store. And I finally hit the mother lode today, boys. And I even said this to the guy, like, I must have manifested this. Cause like, as I was going through, I was finding half my fucking YouTube playlist in physical media is now mine.
Nice.
Nice.
So, and I haven't even gone through all of them yet. So they might all be in there. Probably not. But I'm really happy about it, and I just wanted to get that out. The law of attraction.
Right on.
Maybe, yeah.
It does work. It does actually work. But sometimes
Yeah, it
here's the fucked up thing about it that I've found. Maybe it's just in my life that it happens this way. But in order to actually get to that goal that you're chasing, that you're trying to attract into your space, a sacrifice is usually required. You have to sacrifice something in order to get across that final distance to the goal.
I haven't found that, or the sacrifices I haven't noticed. I think it's more of if you set your mind to something and you work towards it, anything is possible in your reality. If you
Well,
limit yourself with the ideas of negativity and scarcity, then that's what you're going to have. You're going to be scraping by and worrying about every stupid little fucking thing and being scared into fucking compliance by the mainstream that's telling you what their reality is for you. Immigrants are stealing your jobs, if you hadn't noticed.
Oh, I noticed. Zero Hedge noticed as well. They pointed out that in the latest jobs report, there were 1 million immigrants that were added to the workforce and 0 native born.
Well,
Damn.
I just recently bought a new washer dryer combo and had people bring it to my house, and the first group of people uh, slipped and fell down the steps, and it fell on top of the guy. And he had a California. The people called me with a California number when they were arranging the drop off, and they busted it up and took it away because they couldn't deliver it at that point. And New York crew, they didn't speak English at all except the one lead guy, but they got it done. So, in some instances, you got to go with the immigrants. They wanted a little more.
Some of them do. That's the thing. Is
Americans are soft.
you can't just broad brush any group of people, and we all know this. Because there's plenty of people.
No,
Some of them are not in the country anymore, which is probably a good thing. But there's also plenty of people that came here that are being given the label of immigrant, who are actually like they're fleeing prosecution in the nation that they're coming from, or they're coming here for the purpose of getting involved in organized crime and that sort of thing. So it's not just people coming here seeking a better life, like the whole fucking bullshit.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good people who are hard workers, and then there's the slackers. When I was like in my 20s, I was working on I was a carpenter, and the laborers were all, working on green cards, and I spoke enough Spanish to be friends with some of the guys, and they would tell me that they would work for 7 years and then use like a cousin's name or a brother's name and get another 7 years, and they were always sending their money back home, and they weren't like criminals. They were just people trying to take care of themselves and their family, and they're caught
Well,
up
here's
in
the
this
thing, dude, is
bullshit
they probably wouldn't have gotten fucked with, because there's 21 of those immigrants on one fucking social security number. And do you think the government's going to be like, no, you guys are all illegal, we're going to fucking bust every one of you? Fuck no, dude. They're getting tax money out of those motherfuckers.
Oh, no, they're not. These guys would show me their checks. They didn't
Eventually
get taxes taken out at all.
Eventually they would.
The dude who lives across the street from me is illegal, and bought a house, and he told me that he pays more in taxes than we do because he's not legal.
These guys were legal, but they showed me they're like W-2. They weren't getting any taxes at all or not their W-2, but their pay stubs. They weren't getting shit taken out. They were making more than I was from all the taxes they were taking out of my check.
That's absolutely insane, Tom. Because I could not go down to Mexico and buy property without being a citizen of the country, a fully naturalized citizen.
Well, he had to get somebody to co-sign for his house. He couldn't do it. You know what I mean? He had to use somebody else's name.
I mean, how do you feel about statehood and anarchy and that type of mindset? Do you believe there should be...
Well, I'm an anarchist, so...
Yeah, kill the state.
Yeah. Do you believe there should be borders? And that...
No.
Well, look, there's there has to be something. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just let fucking immigrants come into your country, because they're just going to keep coming. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. They're not going to come unless there's some kind of support system that's supporting them. And that's what's going on now. Like, these people wouldn't naturally be immigrating here if they weren't getting prompted to in some way. And when they get here, they're getting flown to all these different places. They're getting gift baskets, apparently. U.S. aid is giving them gift baskets when they arrive and shipping them out and putting them up in hotels until they, get their feet fucking underneath of them Whereas like the current U.S. citizens who are struggling are in like cities where the water supply is poison and
Yeah.
they've known it for years,
Or
but
your
they
house
won't.
just burned down. Here's $700.
Yeah, they won't invest any money in the people that live here while they're giving $27 million to George Soros to try to elect DAs that want to destabilize cities and let all the criminals back out on the street.
Yeah, I think a lot of that though is just to fucking piss people off here in the United States.
It is. It's to swing them towards the idea that AI and technocracy is a better way of governance over us slaves, and we'll turn it over to that, and they'll give us some like easy wins.
I
Yeah.
actually disagree with you on that, Rob. I don't think
Okay.
any of what has been done in the last 2 weeks has been to sway anybody's opinion on technocracy. I think it has literally been to clear space for it, regardless of what anybody thinks. I don't think we've seen the beginning of the marketing campaign yet.
I think I've, I think it's to poison the well on governance.
Human governance.
I mean, they've been dumbing
Human
down the
governance. Yes.
population.
Poison
Yeah,
the
they've
well
been.
on human governance because they still need. You still got too many people that are buying into the system, believing in the system, believing that it can be fixed, right? That it's just we need to take care of the bad parts and we put more focus on the good parts and everything will be fine. There's still far too many people who have that as their mentality. You need to take care of those people.
Well, they've been adopting a mommy state over everybody since I've been alive for 52 years. It hasn't been a like self-sufficient, like grow a garden, make sure you have stuff in storage just in case
No, we were taught to
the
make fun of those
electricity goes
people.
out for a week. Real things.
Hmm.
Yeah, make fun of those people who were prepared for a minor type of thing. Like, not to mention, like if fucking the sun starts spitting out a bunch of plasma at the planet, or a big asteroid or comet hits, or a volcano goes off, and things are going to be shut down for a year or more if you live. Yeah, they've been making fun of
I
the
would
people that
like to
prepared
see that
for a week.
happen. I would actually really like to see that happen. That it's been a what do you call it? Like it's not a pet peeve. It's the opposite of a pet peeve. So I guess it's a guilty pleasure, right? Just to see society completely crumble and like
I'm
all the
taking you.
people who would not be here anymore if that happened.
I'm taking you as a glass half empty kind of guy.
I
Oh,
think I'd still be around for a little bit. I don't think I'd be in the first wave to go. Definitely
That's
not.
that's a line from the old Groundhog's Day movie with Bill Murray. Taking you as a glass half empty kind of guy.
it was like one time the wife and I don't know, it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. We went to the store and we were stocking up on stuff, and the lady in front of us was looking at us like we were fucking being a bunch of greedy fucks. You know what I mean? Like, why are you guys getting all that extra stuff? Like, cause we ain't gonna be starving, bitch, when shit hits the fan. Fuck you.
I'm just coming off 2 weeks
I mean, it
being
wasn't that
stuck
long
out
ago that
here.
a hurricane, really, stuck as in what way?
Oh, that's right.
Did
Shit,
you
you're
have a
about to
little
get more
electricity?
snow too.
Yeah, we got some deep, crazy snow, and yeah, we're some more freezing
Yeah,
temps. Right?
they're saying 2 to 3 feet possible in Boston over the course of like I think the next week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's some serious weather.
Fortunately, those guys from Mexico cut that tree before that heavy snow we had earlier made it fall on my house or take the power out. So I appreciate that. Those guys to tie into what you were saying, Rob. Those guys were very hardworking. They did it very quickly. They were very professional. They had 10 years of experience. They had a work ethic. I'm sure there were some people around me that I could have hired to do it. Most of them probably would have been meth addicts and been looking around my place for like stuff to steal later. You know what I mean?
What are we
Is
coming
it
back
that bad
for?
in West Virginia now?
It's pretty bad. It's been pretty
Wow.
bad for a long time. Yeah.
I mean, I knew the whole thing with the oxys. Like there were a lot of communities in West Virginia got hit really hard with that.
I also think a lot of more straight arrow type of people have been like turned to the trades in the last few years because of the astronomical cost of an education in the universities. Because like
Yeah.
who wants to have $100,000 debt, and when you're 18, do you really know what you want to do? Unless you have like a specific talent that you've been, honing since you were a young kid that you plan on pursuing. Like most kids have multiple talents, and when they're 18, they have no fucking idea what they want to do for the rest of their life. And going and paying $100,000 to go down something that you're going to end up being miserable in. Ever since they guaranteed college loans on bankruptcies, where you couldn't write that off with a bankruptcy, all of a sudden the cost of the U.S. Education system has skyrocketed, if you had noticed.
Makes sense.
I just want to say one thing. In the 10 years, 11 years of plumbing, being on construction sites, don't get it twisted, dude. Those Mexican gentlemen that were working were fucking off just as much as everybody else.
Oh,
I was going to say that I had like laborers on my crew. Like that was one of the things in non-union construction. Like if you had a driver's license, because most carpenters in that low-paid fucking arena were drunks or drug addicts and didn't have a driver's license.
Couldn't get to the
And
job site.
if you had a driver's license, you could drive all the laborers to the job site. And
Oh, dude,
so
if
they
you
would
had a
put you.
driver's license, you were golden.
They would put you as they would put you in charge of those laborers.
Yeah, you'd be crew chief.
And I didn't give a fuck because I knew I wasn't getting paid for what I was worth. I would be doing my work in a couple hours that most people were taking all day to do and fucking off, and I would go see the laborers, and they would be like hiding places. They were supposed to be like taking shit, cleaning the job site and keeping, keeping the supplies up, and those motherfuckers would be hiding out behind the building, behind the dumpster when everybody's looking.
Yeah, and it sucks, dude, because I was a laborer and I fucking busted my ass, dude. I didn't fuck off. I did my job. And in the process of being a laborer, I learned how to plumb. So,
well, that's the thing. All those guys that were working for the company that I was working for at that time, they would come in working as laborers and learn how to do like the carpentry or the taping and spackling stuff, and they would start up like side crews, and they would subcontract from the main guy.
yeah. Yeah, well,
The old entrepreneurial spirit.
So
I would hang out and drink beer with those guys, and they would like take over an apartment complex in the area near the place we were working. And they have multiple families living. They would knock down walls between apartments and make it like one big fucking apartment.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Well, not a bad idea, really.
Well, here's what's crazy, dude. Is like I sometimes I have to go into people's apartments to fix something in there or whatever, dude. And like the other day, we went into an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. There's 2 full-size beds in the fucking living room, and then there's people living in the bedrooms. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I bet you these people are just barely fucking making it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Either that or it's one big family and they're saving money.
Well, I mean, most Hispanic families, that's how they live. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Even down in Mexico, that's
Yeah.
how they live a lot of the time because it makes more sense. It does. Like it does.
Yeah,
The most expensive way to live in this world is to do everything by yourself.
yeah.
You'll end up spending the most amount of money.
Well, they've took away the ability to own land in most instances anywhere. Um, there's no state that doesn't have property tax. So how do you get outside of the system when at some point the land that you're on with your homestead, whether you've got energy independence and food independence and defense independence, all that stuff, like at some point they can come kick you off of the land that you've
Right.
developed that on if
Well,
you're not paying.
I'm starting to wonder if that wasn't the whole point for property tax in the first place. Because again, it's not something that's been there since the country was founded. It came later. And it seems like it is the perfect mechanism to make sure that nobody can escape. You have to be able to cover the cost of your property tax. Otherwise, yeah, they can come snatch your land right from under you. Legally, allegedly.
Wow, in my state, property taxes appeared in the late 1600s and began to take shape in the early 1900s with the establishment of more formalized assessment and collection processes.
Was New Jersey even a state in the late 1600s?
No, it was a Dutch colony at that point. I live in a land of slaves, man.
Yeah.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So there were
Yes, sir.
two more planes that fell out of the sky this week. I don't know if you guys saw those stories or not. One was down in South America, similar to the crash from last Friday night, where it was shortly after they had left the airport. It just nosedived right out of the sky.
Was it a Boeing 737?
I don't know. I didn't follow the story that closely. But the
I
other
saw
one was a flight
Alaska?
up in Alaska, right? In a remote part of Alaska where they went off the radar and they don't know where they are.
Was there any
Well,
sign?
they just had a military jet in Alaska just fall straight fucking down, dude.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah,
I saw
Right.
that video.
I
Is there
did
any-
too. That shit looked crazy as fuck, dude.
That's a dead spin. That's what that is. That's
Is there any
like if you were
scientists on
to.
it?
No, it was like an F-35.
No, I was
But
talking about
it was in
the,
a dead spin because it was dropping straight down and it was spinning counterclockwise.
I wasn't talking about the military. I was talking about the other two. Was there any
Oh.
scientists on board that had some breakthrough
Oh.
technology?
Oh, I don't know. Not a clue. I doubt in the Alaska one because it looked like where they were coming from was nowhere special.
No black pyramids there or whatever.
Not as far as
Might-
I know.
You might need some assurance the next time you're traveling.
Well, I'm wondering
What if the plane missing was fake?
Yeah. Good way to hide some bodies.
Or it was just an image to make everybody think that that's what happened.
Yeah, could be.
Because
That's the
I'll be
problem
honest
all
with you,
this shit
gentlemen.
now.
Yeah, I think that on 9/11, no planes hit those buildings. I think those were images. I think something else, probably some type of missile or something, hit those buildings that day.
I disagree, Tom. I think it was. I don't think that they were commercial airlines. I think they were gray military fucking planes that slammed in there for everybody to see. At least that's what I saw on video.
Hmm.
I don't
You
know.
do know there was an AWACS plane in the air when those planes hit the building, right?
I absolutely do, and I think that was probably the thing that was remote controlling them into the buildings.
Hmm.
Um,
That's an
but
I think
interesting
that's what was pumping
hypothesis.
as
out. That's
as
what I think
far
was pumping out the images of the planes.
as far as the thing that hit the Pentagon, I think that was a missile fired from an Israeli torpedo or Israeli submarine.
Oh, I have the footage of it.
Of a submarine?
No. Of the strike on the Pentagon from the security camera at one of the entry gates there on the south
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. You showed it the other night, and I was like, dude, you could clearly see a fucking missile.
Yeah.
Yo,
There's no
send me
way
that.
that's a fucking
it's
plane.
it's
No way
Well,
at all.
goes by quick, but
Yeah.
if you pay attention, you will see it.
send it to me on Discord or something. I
It's
want to
in
see
the.
that.
It's included in the dance party thing. I'll see
Hopefully,
if I can check because I
send
don't
it
have
out.
that like published anywhere.
They say that missile came from a box truck that was underneath a bridge.
I heard it came from a Israeli submarine by
The
remote
Israeli
viewing.
submarine I would buy.
The remote viewing crowd said it was a Popeye missile or a Popeye submarine, one or the other.
I could see that. And it
Well,
would make sense that it was an Israeli submarine considering the film crew in New York was also Israeli.
Yeah, and they were
Oh, Tom, you're muted.
as soon as they were released, they were back talking about how they were sent there to record the event. Like, what the fuck is that even mean?
Yeah, well, that's what happened in Hawaii. You know that, right?
What's that?
There was a missile launched on Hawaii. Came from a sub. Got shot down.
When?
Oh, when Tulsi Gabbard was still, she was still a representative there or whatever. That was
Do
a
you
few
think?
years ago. It was a while ago.
Do you think her gray streak is going to turn into all gray as the director of national intelligence? I mean, it's pretty fucking funny. I don't know if it's just because of how old the people are when they become the president, but pretty much every president you've ever seen, the years that they've been in office, they've aged. It looks substantially.
Except
Obama,
for Trump.
dude.
Trump's
Except for
the only
Trump.
one that hasn't. I mean,
God,
even Jesus, look at the beginning Biden clone and the ending Biden clone.
I'm using frog.
Like
Frog.
Biden's looking pretty bad towards the end there. Like really
Well,
waxy skin and the hair was,
well,
No.
what's disgusting about that whole fucking Biden charade is that like most of the mainstream media is all in his fucking back pocket, whatever you want to say, in the fucking tank for him. And like the only alternative media is Fox on the mainstream. And then there's a bunch of like fake independent media. And like most of the population who watches TV sucks up all the fucking fallacies and bullshit that they like pump out there to the point that we're living in, communist fucking utopia right now. Um, we got our selected leaders, and the government's going to take care of all of us because we're all too dumb to do it for ourselves.
oh, they're gonna
They've,
take care of us all right.
they've made sure of that
Yeah.
by instead of like
They have
increasing
camps for us.
instead of increasing the standards on people. Now everybody's illiterate, and everybody gets a trophy. You don't have to succeed at anything. We just want to make you dumb and malleable to whatever we're telling you.
Well, it's because independent thinkers, Rob, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not. I would imagine that you are, because I've heard things come out of your mouth that I've never heard come out of anybody else's mouth before. But independent thinkers are much harder to control than people who are dependent upon you for their survival.
God, they're coming for me one day, Driz.
Yeah, well, they're coming for all of us, dude.
Unfortunately, we're
You're
gonna be a
muted again,
different.
Tom.
We're gonna be a different FEMA region, unless you move north from the piney woods.
What do you think about Rocky?
Are they coming for all of us, dude?
Yeah.
The stupid ones too.
Is it based?
That's, dude. You know, that's. I don't know. That's gonna be a scary thing if they do some like blue beam shit. How many people are gonna fucking lose their shit over that, dude?
A lot of people will.
Yes.
A lot of people will.
I
mean, it's in the cards. We all know it's in the cards.
Yeah. Well, they're already doing shit. You know what I mean?
What I heard, the timeline I heard for Bluebeam was 2029. That's when they're planning to bring out the aliens.
Blue beam is going to be their last ditch effort.
I don't think it's a last ditch effort. I think it's the coup de grace. That's the final stone to set in place.
Yeah, well,
and that's
we'll
again, 2029 seems to line up right with that.
Yeah, I don't know
when
they're
going
to do it.
usher in the new great awakening of the human species as we walk hand in hand to the new one world religion and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, Tom Cooper won't be participating in that if I'm still alive.
Nope, I won't either. I say we'll probably be in camps by then.
Oh, they ain't taking me to a camp either. They're going to have to put a bullet in my fucking head because that's how it's going to go down. Tom Cooper is not going to go to a camp. Never a fucking
I go
camp.
back and forth on that. It might be fun in the camp.
Oh, no, dude. You're not going to like it. Trust me.
No.
And in a camp already.
What happens if we go into a mini ice age in the next like 3 to 5 years? How's that all skew the plan? Because that's what I've been hearing for like the last 20 years.
Run to their underground bunkers, and the rest of us are fucked. That's how that plays out.
I guess so. Unless you figure out a way to harness 0-point energy, or turn water into energy. Here's a hint: get a diode, a fucking capturing tube to get the hydrogen, and a battery source to separate the oxygen and the hydrogen. And a generator that runs off of hydrogen would be a good second step. And you're set.
Yeah, you can make Brown's gas and run a combustion engine off of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple. There's so many YouTube videos that show you how to do it in a really simple, cost-efficient way. I mean, they show you how to separate it, but the problem is, how do you capture it and contain it and store it for usage?
Mm-hmm.
Because it would take a lot of energy to keep enough hydrogen to generate the energy to run your whole fucking house, or enough to survive off of. It's one thing in a little mini experiment, but
you ever seen any of? You guys ever seen any of the video? There's a, I think they might have put it on AM Wake Up. It was, I don't know, a couple of years ago, but a kid invented a machine to make energy, and he was using it at his house, and the fucking government rolled up on him and shit, dude.
Oh wow!
And
they're threatening national security.
Well, they fucking they had a little talk with the dude. You know what I'm saying? And they basically told him that he, keep his fucking mouth shut. Don't go telling people about this, and blah blah blah. But like around the same time, dude, Tinfoil Hat, they did a show, and it was kind of on the same thing. This dude had learned how to. He built a machine. It wasn't quite as big as the kids, because the kids was massive, dude. But the guy, his is a little bit smaller, and he had it underground. and that way nobody could see it and see what he was doing and shit like that. But apparently the government fucking showed up to his house and they were like, "Hey dude, what the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "What are you guys talking about?" And they're like, "Dude, we know what you're doing, dude." So basically they have like shit installed in the ground that can pick up
Yes, they
these
do.
sound waves and fucking all kinds of other shit.
Yes, it was
And
developed by DARPA.
That's how he got popped.
Energy signatures.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
I haven't seen
it's how
anything.
they knew that the Soviets were doing underground nuclear tests back in the 70s. That was part of the system that was developed to detect that shit.
But anyway, the dude that was on the tinfoil hat, I haven't seen him back on tinfoil hat, so.
I don't know.
I heard he was in a big lawsuit, though, dude. He was trying to fight the government over his machine.
There's been a long list of people who've tried to take their inventions to the patent office of whatever state that they're living in.
How do you defeat the bully in their own playground? How does that work?
You play by their rules.
You release it as an open source technology, not hoping to make any money off of it.
I think that's it.
That's the only way. If you give it to everybody for fucking free, if it's as revolutionary as a technology as you believe it to be, where energy independence will give everybody freedom, then you have a whole globe of free thinking people.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen, Rob. 100%.
Well, I think
freedom equals free thinking.
For some people, for some people, that's enough of a reward.
Right.
Others they want, status above everybody else, and some parade thrown in their honor. So here we are, living under this fucking thumb of government oppression and technological fucking suppression.
I posted a video
conditioning.
I posted a little clip video in. I don't think I put it in your on your channel, Driz, but I'll go back and find it and post it. But anyway, it's this black gentleman and he's playing a little clip of Ronald Reagan, and it's basically Ronald Reagan telling everybody that the people run the government, not the other way around.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not doing it any justice. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't remember word for word exactly what he said. So I'll go back and post it in the Telegram again. But yeah, people don't understand. They don't realize that. You know what I mean? Like they don't get when it comes to politics. They don't get it, dude. They don't get that we're the ones that are supposed to run the government, and not the government run us.
Well, that's the whole thing that they've been implanting in people since I've been born, is that the government is your like overlord and you do what the government says, and as long as you're a good boy or good girl, they won't come throw you into a cage and lock you away.
Well, basically
pay your penance, taxes, and every way, no matter what level you get to, they take a shitload of your money.
Yeah, and if you're a really, really good boy, Rob, we'll not only make you the top defense contractor, we'll let you run the audit of the Pentagon too.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I could not believe that shit.
They're going through the programs that are like 1% of the government's budget and finding atrocities. Just imagine what they'll find. They're talking about Medicare and Medicaid. That's not where the atrocities are happening.
I'll bet. Strangely enough, there's everything at Starlink is just fine. SpaceX, everything is completely above board. Nothing to worry about there.
What about blackjack?
What are you talking about, Rob? Do you have clearance to be discussing that program?
I don't, but I have chickens and they talk a lot.
Right? That's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure it's just nonsense, but
So
talking about a blackjack program above or equal to Starlink that was encircling the globe with
yeah,
surveillance satellites.
yeah. So does this break the government? I think that's the question that everybody wants to know. Nothing seems to be stopping what is taking place, which may just be a dog and pony show for the benefit of the public, and all it really is restructuring and rebranding that's going on behind the scenes. That's kind of what I think. But I think they
Well,
are also getting rid of a lot of physical personnel in favor of automation.
Oh, at some point, all of our politicians are going to go away. They're all useful idiots, and they just don't know it.
yeah, it's technocracy. But
One world government. Why
if you
would
just
we need
heard
more politicians?
if you just heard Marco Rubio talking recently, he was saying that the U.S. isn't going to have the authority over the world anymore. We're not going to be the police anymore. We're at the
No,
point where
just the
we're
American hemisphere.
we're accepting that there's other powers in the world now, and that we don't rule it anymore. So that's what the mainstream State Department speak as.
Right. So
All of a sudden,
multilateralism.
we're
Or what do they call it? Multipolarism.
dismantling U.S. aid, which is
Yeah.
U.S. aid is getting dismantled, which has always been the CIA's coup operation or disablement operation of every fucking country it's been in. None of the leaders of those countries are complaining about it. Just the NGOs and politicians who
A lot of
get rich off of it.
LGBT groups have been complaining about it. I've noticed that.
I mean, who doesn't want to?
And I'm dead serious, by the way. That wasn't a joke.
Who doesn't want Sesame Street exported in some ideological spin in other countries, Driz? You fucking monster.
Well, I did also see that apparently USAID had, I don't know if you call it a grant or a contract or whatever, that was going to the World Economic Forum to the tune of about $53 million. And at the time that the funding freeze happened, about 35 million had already been allocated to the organization. The rest was to come over the course of the next 18 months, I believe.
I'm not sure if you're
Taxpayer
aware.
money, American taxpayer money.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but the Polish Big Bird doesn't have a big bird. He has a big gash after his transgender surgery.
Oh boy. Better clean those feathers.
I've noticed this kind of retconning of DEI. I've been seeing this. What you sparked when you said the LGBT is supporting this. Someone keeps sharing stuff, and it's like talking about how curb cuts are DEI, and DEI started in the 50s or whatever. It's old. It's not something Klaus Schwab latched onto and promoted a few years ago, right?
Well, I mean, it still sucks. So,
hey, just imagine being one of the gay people who watched their whole movement.
It's like you're taking credit. You're taking credit for like DEI is like responsible for fires and plane crashes and all this stuff that's going on, right? And but you're saying like ADA curb cuts are part of that. Like, no, that's just common
that's
sense.
The conflation.
Man. That's just fucking
that
common
happens
sense.
Because people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. That's what I'm at issue with.
The civil rights thing is completely different from DEI. Always has been. But people always fall into the trap of conflating the two, believing that they're the same. They're not.
That's what's going on out there.
Just imagine being in the gay community and finally starting to get acceptance in the mainstream world, and then all of a sudden, now you're being equated with transsexuals who want to read stories to fucking 5-year-olds.
Yeah. I've
it's
heard
normal.
gay men.
That was part of the plan.
Yeah. Well, I know it was, yeah. But I've heard gay men express their distaste and disgust for all of this, saying exactly what you just said, Rob. We worked so hard to get where we are, and now this.
Yeah.
Seems like it's on purpose. It's by design.
Monkeypox. No.
That was definitely by design. I think that might have been in one of the Ukraine labs, if I'm not mistaken. Should I try and put this on YouTube tomorrow? I'm not sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure Sean Penn and Zelensky were trying to gain that function at some point.
Hey,
when do you think he's gonna get eliminated?
Maybe soon.
That aid thing you guys were just talking. Sorry, I'm kind of going back on what you guys were talking about just a second ago. That aid shit.
Yeah.
The Clintons are deep caught up in that fucking shit, dude. Chelsea.
Well, I think they got money from it for the Clinton Global Initiative.
Yeah. They got money from that shit. Dude.
Yeah, which was a huge money laundering operation.
Which current thing? I mean, I know about the global initiative.
Oh, the company that everyone's.
But what are they into now?
Yeah, well, they were there. I just happened to see something. Chelsea Clinton got a bunch of money from that.
USAID.
Yeah, USAID.
It's U.S. Agency for International Development.
Right.
But yeah, fucking.
I heard she got a lot of money.
Marketing, absolute genius marketing. I don't know.
Well, they're getting more money than the fucking CIA.
They basically
more than anybody
were the CIA.
Yeah, well
they were one of the main operational arms of the CIA since the 60s.
Yeah,
always have been. That's why they were developed in the first place.
With all the money that the Clinton Global Initiative got after the Haiti earthquake, they had enough money to make sure every natural born Haitian had at least $10,000 in their pocket at the end of the day. But yet they're still poor. And
didn't they build like 3 houses though?
They built 3 houses.
They might have.
I think you might be right. I think it was 3.
I think they built 3 houses, so we're good. $80 million, 3 houses. In Haiti, property values are high, apparently. It's like Park Place. Get over it.
That just goes to show you how people like that think about the rest of us.
Dude, anybody in the world can start right now a charitable organization that fleeces the public and only has to contribute 3 to 5% towards the actual charity. So let's raise money for cancer. Fuck this truth telling shit. Let's get rich.
Right.
Hillary Clinton. We know the cancer is caused by like the jabs and the food and this and that.
I mean,
fuck it. Let's pretend we want to do research.
I'd be down.
Let's do cancer research and just make millions of dollars and fucking give 3% to St. Jude like everybody else. Fuck it.
Well, I don't know. Has Trump struck down the cancer moonshot project yet? We might be able to get on some of that money.
Find out who he's invested in. I heard that all the Pfizer and Moderna stocks went down since RFK passed the committee.
It'll go back up.
Yeah, it will.
I know. Just like
I'm
Nvidia.
surprised.
Nvidia stock went down for, when the Chinese basically ripped off ChatGPT's database.
All right, so here's what I didn't understand. Why did Nvidia drop because of that?
Because people are panicky idiots. It's like watch like an old Simpsons episode.
Follow the money.
explains
follow
what I'm saying.
money.
society
It
in
doesn't.
general.
I don't see the connection between the two things. Why would Nvidia's stock price be affected
I
by China stealing technology and claiming it as their own? Unless
Because you need to
somehow
check to see
Nvidia
how
was
many people
involved
have
in
put
that.
options on that.
I can tell you why from a technology standpoint.
Okay.
So essentially, as they develop this fake artificial intelligence, they use what's called a GPU processor, and NVIDIA makes the top of the line,
Correct. It's
GPU
powering this
processors.
broadcast right now.
Yeah, they create the best in the market currently, and what they were saying is this Chinese version of artificial intelligence was able to process, I guess, machine learning or whatever it is that it's doing at a, I guess, more technologically simpler point of view without using GPUs.
So it was
So
able to do the same work more efficiently. Is what it
exactly,
sounds
and
like.
yeah, exactly. And they were trying to say that in the market that became like a scare, like, oh, now these GPUs aren't as valuable as they were before.
Right, because a certain amount of the chipsets are going out to AI, and a certain amount are going to gamers and whatever. So like that, they're trying to get out.
I mean,
They think they see something
honestly,
coming.
the actual value of Nvidia is way higher than what it should be at the moment.
Yeah, that's why you go and look to see how many people have put options on that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because they knew it was gonna fucking go down. Because somebody fucking told them. Insider trading.
Yeah, but it's a long-term strategy. They're still the
Nancy
top of the
Pelosi.
market.
Exactly what Nancy Pelosi did. She had a shitload of money in fucking Nvidia. She got the word that it was gonna fucking go down, and she pulled the fuck out of it, dude, and made shit tons of money off of it.
Wouldn't
Well,
surprise me.
like, what is like somebody like her, the old fossil that she is, and her closet gay husbands, like, what are they doing with all that fucking money? They're at the end of their fucking life, no matter what they want to think. They're in their
Pass
80s.
along to the rest of their family, dude,
Yeah,
so they
they
can
have
keep
families
doing what they're
too.
doing.
Yeah.
So
They
they
also
already
they'll set
they
up
already had more
endowments.
than enough. They already had more than enough. And from what I heard, like more than like 3 years ago, Nancy's daughter is gonna step right into her fucking position in the house as soon as Nancy dies. Like she's gonna
You
like
talking about AOC, right?
Blam.
no.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
that's
Nancy's
your
daughter.
next Nancy Pelosi right there.
I'm talking about Nancy Pelosi's daughter. At this moment, AOC is trying to take over in the House as like Democratic leadership, trying to push Nancy out. And Nancy is like a fossil. Like who the
cat
fuck?
fight.
Like what kind of fucking blackmail do they have to have on you to have you sticking around into that late stage of life and going through the fucking motions of putting these fucking
I don't
votes
think
in?
that's.
No,
I think she enjoys.
That's where the money is.
I think she enjoys it.
So what?
Of
Like
course she
fucking
does.
how much
That's
money?
why
How
they
much
keep
money
doing
do
it
you
as long as
need,
they do.
dude? How much money do you fucking
Dude,
need?
there's
Rob,
never
it's not
enough,
about the
man.
money, brother.
No, not
The
at
gig
all.
is to get in there.
Once you
and
get past like
screw the people over
a
to get
few
as rich
million,
as you can, and it's
money
like
is
high score in a
meaningless.
video game. You're competing
Yeah,
against other soulless whores
I need to
across the
study.
world.
I need to study more psychology because I
Politics.
just don't. I just don't understand that mentality of like power being more fucking important than enjoying your life. It's like a big, beautiful world to see, and beautiful people all over the world.
Some
And
Well,
some
Rob,
people
it's because
only
they don't care about none of that shit, dude.
right.
This is all
and
a fucking humiliation ritual.
Yeah,
the
Those
world of
you
motherfuckers
can't
like to watch us
understand
suffer.
their motivation through the lens of your own.
exactly. I know. I understand that as well, but it's a world of plenty that they portray to us as a world of scarcity. And I guess the next big thing, if it's not another contrived virus, it's going to be global warming. It's going to be the next threat. There's going to be some big storm that they geoengineer that's going to get everybody's attention.
Oh, I think there's going to be a few of them this year. I don't think it's going to be just one. I think they need, in order to get people back on board the whole climate change narrative, which I don't think is going to happen, but they're going to give it a shot. They're going to need some big shows for the public this year. Maybe even strange shit in the sky. So not necessarily aliens, but visible phenomenon in the sky that doesn't happen every day.
Well, they had the whole like fake thing over New Jersey where people were seeing drones, and it was almost like back before they did the War of the Worlds on the radio, when they were like floating rumors about UFOs, and all kinds of people reporting in after they heard the news reports about it.
Well, they were for research.
They
and
were
other things.
Some people got fog out of it. I don't know if you guys were lucky enough to get the fog.
No, we did not get the fog here in Texas, as far as I know. Not here in the Piney Woods. Shit, they've been calling for fog, and we haven't gotten any.
When that was happening, we got one day of thick fog, but it was justifiable because it was really cold, and then it got really warm, and there was snow on the ground still. So that's naturally when you see fog. So I didn't think anything of it. And that was the time when everybody around the country was complaining that there was thick fog and everybody was getting sick because of it. There's so much subterfuge out there. Everybody thinks everything is a fucking government conspiracy, and the government's out to get them in every single way. I don't think it's as complex as that. There's definitely a push to encourage people not to have children, and a eugenics movement disguised as climate awareness, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
They've definitely destroyed the whole sanctity of marriage and family, and pushed an allegiance to the state as your overlord and mommy and daddy, and fostered generations now of adults who still act like fucking children and act like they don't have any autonomy over their own lives, and they need somebody above them to tell them what to do.
Yeah, that's why we're in the mess we're in.
We're like a subspecies to them that's been bred like dogs to do a specific task they no longer need us for. So we should be being put to sleep anytime. The majority, anyway.
Well, the drones and the robots and artificial intelligence is all going to take our place in the next 5 years, according to all the trends.
Right. Which, again, kind of ties back to what you were saying earlier, Rob, about, maybe there'll be like a big ball of plasma that comes out of the sun. And they already know that something of this level is coming in this time period anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't have to do the wiping out themselves. There's something else that's going to take care of that for
They're going
them.
to ride out the event.
Correct. They just have to be there when it's over.
Yeah.
To put all the pieces back together that are, scattered over the various parts of the planet.
I mean, it's great to be prepared like anything else, but I don't know if that's something you can predict and be in the right place at the right time when that happens, that you can go into that bunker and be safe. Like if the sun just decides to start spitting out plasma, what's it take? About 8 minutes for light to reach us? How fast does plasma travel?
I think it travels almost at the speed of light, or it can. I don't think there's a whole lot of resistance.
Yeah, it's not like you have a day to go get in your bunker. So I mean, it's a great idea, but there's
It can only
underground.
last so long underground anyway.
No.
I mean, there's underground cities all over the fucking world that were built before this version of humanity.
Darren
Yeah.
Kuyu is so fucking compelling.
Indian
Yeah.
tribes, whole Indian tribes claim to live under the ground at one point.
Yeah, the ant people saved them, is what they say.
Yeah.
You can't go to the Grand Canyon, certain areas, because they have caves that go down in the ground. That's the story I heard. I'm sticking
I was
to
in
it.
the Grand Canyon last year.
There's certain
in,
areas,
September.
certain areas that you're not allowed to go to.
I smelled a lot of mule piss and saw a lot of mule shit on my way down the pathway.
That's what they want us to be, mules.
There's a mule tour.
We're being sterilized. Gay frog mule people.
I went down like 3.5 miles into the North Canyon trails, and that was enough for me. I think it was like 17 miles from the top down to the Colorado River. I was like, yeah, unless you got a tent and are ready to fucking sleep over, that's not a day trip.
Hiking sounds rad though, and like natural wonders like the Grand Canyon and such sounds rad. Wish I could do stuff like that.
It was awesome. Glad I got to do it in my lifetime.
Did you say you've been to Alaska too?
No, I haven't been there.
I haven't been there either.
Rad, beautiful stuff up there to see, I bet. I've been to Maine to some old OG trees that were like really tall, and that was rad. And there was like a cliff up there. You could see the ocean. That was rad. Yeah, haven't seen too much awesome stuff, just photos.
Well, shit, there's awesome stuff all over West Virginia, and especially like southwestern Virginia, like natural bridge formations, caverns, all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
we've got Carlsbad really Caverns. Cool. Is that us, Carlsbad Caverns, or is that Virginia?
I can't remember. I'll look it up.
That's us.
You said you're getting the last
smoke hole. We got a smoke hole cavern, bro. I need to go to Clam Bake and Smoke Hole Cavern. Why didn't I think of this earlier?
You guys got a lot. You guys got a lot of snow down in West Virginia so far this year. You're saying?
Yeah, we were trapped on our road for about 2 weeks because it's a little dirt road, and too icy and snowy and steep and dangerous. No guardrails or anything. So we just don't risk it if we don't have to.
I've been thinking about going down there to do some skiing.
Snowshoe.
It's about equivalent to the Pocono Mountains near me. It's probably about an hour further away.
There's Snowshoe and Wisp, I think, are the ski resorts we have here. I've been to Wisp, I think.
Yeah, Snowshoe was really popular when I was in school.
The Pocono Mountains don't get a lot of snow. At least it's not as much as they used to.
I was a poor kid, so I didn't get to go snowboarding because you had to have like $60, and
I didn't go. I didn't go till I was in my 30s, dude. Don't feel bad. I started skiing when I was like 32.
Yeah, I was older too. I was feeling it. Muscles I didn't know I had in my midsection were killing me the next day.
Oh shit! Yeah, Smoke Hole Caverns. There it is, right there.
So I got a vacation coming up at the end of the month where I'm either going to go skiing or golfing or a mix of both. But you got to go north for golfing and south for skiing. Or, I mean, north for skiing and south for golfing. Yeah.
So there's Lost World Cavern, Smoke Hole Caverns, and Oregon Cave.
Whoa, baby.
Yeah.
Mother, is that you?
ORGAN, Oregon Cave. Love your Oregon. #.
So there's a Hotel Morgan in Morgantown where I live. it's the fancy old style hotel, you know, and it's got a big red neon sign on top that says Hotel Morgan. And when I moved into town in 1997, someone had shot out the sign, the L, the god of the sign, so it just said Hot Oregon. Big neon fucking light on the tallest building in town that says Hot Oregon, bro. This is where I want to live. This is
That's
where
I would like to grow up. Yeah.
I put down roots here.
There was a glory hole there too, I'm sure.
Probably more than one.
There's a place called Select Books had some glory holes.
Hot Oregon.
That's right. I'm sure they had some select clientele as well.
Oh yeah.
So Hollywood is officially done. Is that something we can all agree on? Like
What
there's
is the new Hollywood?
irrelevant.
Have they moved to Texas?
No, I mean as in like social relevance.
Oh no, I'd rather watch old movies before they started. Before the age where I was politically aware, so I couldn't get beat over the head with the programming.
You're talking about the movies, though. I think he's talking about the social relevance of the people who act in the movies, who get up and preach to people about
the productions as well as the people who act in them. Like I don't. Is anybody paying attention to these clowns anymore?
Are they told that they are? Because if they're told, 70% will.
It seems like the Netflixes, the Amazons, the Apples, and the Disneys have all like created their own studios and have stopped working in Hollywood per se. So Hollywood as a location for filming stuff has kind of started to drop off. Plus, they already were using Florida. They film on location in all kinds of parts of the country. So Hollywood isn't really the central hub next to the CIA's Lookout Mountain. But I have no doubt that they still got their fingers in every one of those movie studios, like they always have. Every movie that has something to do with the government, military, or CIA all has to be signed off by those people.
Mm-hmm.
The representative. Always portray them in a positive light. But at the same time, the politicians you always portray as dumb, corrupt idiots. Isn't that a surprise?
Larkin Rose's Jones Plantation.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a good indicator of what can be done. You know, you don't need Hollywood. It's just you do need some money though, because people can't just drop their lives to work on a project for 6 weeks or whatever.
You don't get you don't get the distribution. Like I have Amazon because I have Amazon Prime, so I'll like look at those movies once in a while, even though they make you watch commercials. And I'll tell you what, that movie never popped up once in my suggested viewing, even though they've been watching me since I've had an account. And
but you get Jimmy Dore.
Yeah, exactly. My girlfriend has a Netflix account and never seen Larkin Rose, his movie, pop up on Netflix either. It's all about distribution to the masses.
Yeah.
And like if you showed that to most normies, would they even fucking get the point of the movie? Or would they'd get bored with it and like start talking and I could imagine most normies you'd be watching that movie with, they would be talking over most of the movie as important shit's happening, and you're trying to be like, you should be watching this. This is what I'm fucking trying to show you the movie for. That's just the way it is, man. People aren't fucking programmed to care unless their individual
unless there's something in it for them, yeah.
Unless their individual bubble is being threatened, they don't really care to act. As you saw from our mass psychological experiment with everybody getting experimental jabs.
Gene therapy. We used to call it gene therapy. I always
Gee,
thought
yeah,
that was a good
style at the
name.
time.
we
That's
used
a
to
good
call
name.
it
Experimental gene therapy.
we used to call it experimental gene therapy back in the day, but
Yes, I
they,
believe so. And the
they
first to mean
changed
more.
they changed the Webster's
Now we
dictionary
just call it
definition of
breakfast.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, have some more bacon. I hope it's extra crispy. Crisper.
Have some bacon
Sorry.
food.
Extra crisper bacon.
God, I still don't know anybody in my circle who died, or any of their friends who died from um, that mysterious virus that was going around. But I do know a lot of people in my inner circle who are still suffering from side effects from experimental
Yeah.
gene therapies that were going around at the time.
Long
Give
COVID,
it some
brain
time.
damage, cancer.
Young and old.
My age, 45-ish. My peers that I was tracking that I couldn't talk out of it. A
Yeah,
few
one of my son's friends I heard is on
quickly
heart
developed
medication.
cancer.
I haven't known any cancer sufferers from it yet. I've heard some peripheral stuff of people dying real quick, of people that they've known, but not people I've known.
The thing is, these people are already battling cancer, whether they're aware of it or not. But when they get that injection and their immune system is compromised, the cancer rapidly takes over.
Well,
And
that
then
was
they're
one
like,
of
"Fuck, I
what
need to get
about
cut on
what about
and
all the
irradiated."
stories in the news media about turbo cancer developing in people after vaccination? Not that they're trying to make a correlation; they're just putting that out there into people's minds. You know, some people latch on to ideas and just can't fucking let go of them.
Well, there's probably cancer-causing agents inside the injection, in addition
Could
to
be.
turning off the
Could be.
whatever those receptors are that govern your immune response. Your immune
well,
system is basically turned off.
Well, and
I
we also know that people have the ability to affect the overall health of their body simply by thinking about it.
yeah, that,
Sure.
and I'm also of the mindset that whatever the experiment was, it wasn't the same in every batch and every lot of the stuff that they were passing out, because I know people who had
Yeah.
zero fucking side effects. It was like they got you know, a saline solution or some inert solution of some kind, and nothing at all affected them.
They were the
But
control. It was a series of experiments. Drizzle said many experiments, countless, innumerable batches and experiment
that's what
trials.
I've always thought. I've
Yeah,
always
there are a
thought
bunch of
that.
different operations going on at the same
Additionally,
time.
the shit needed to be frozen cryogenically, like a sub-zero temperature, right?
Well,
Yeah,
wasn't
for
that the fucking
shipment.
thing? And that
Okay,
that was
so
the thing in the beginning, but they were like passing it out at pharmacies where they couldn't
that's
possibly have that
right.
kind of
So the
technology.
so some of this would have died off on the shelf by being improperly handled. And when you see more people getting jab injured in red states than blue states, that could correlate roughly to work ethic in red states versus blue states. And those people that were supposed to refrigerate that jab fucked off, and instead they were watching like
That's an
TikTok videos
interesting
about
angle.
new gender pronouns or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Like, is that all on purpose that they jammed it in those fucking people's faces, injured them with that experiment, and then at the same time are jamming that kind of ideology in their fucking face? Um, I just don't understand the fucking end game and that kind of sickness. But
What
I
if
guess
there
I don't
is
think like a
no
sociopath either.
Yeah, what if there is no end game? What if it's just an endless series of mind fucks just to keep people off balance for no other purpose than
I,
to just keep people off balance? It's never ending.
I mean, that's always been at the back of my mind when you look at the MK Ultra and the MK Bluebird and the artichoke and all the stuff that's like peripherally been put out there that was never actually in official documents that people, whisper about, like the sick shit that they did to people. Um, and there is clearly some type of satanic cult going on in the country involved in high levels of power that traffic children and practice these rituals. So I don't know. I try to live a more simple life than that, but it's right in your fucking face.
Yeah.
Are you reading me here?
Boys Town.
Father Flanagan's Boys Town Choir, recorded in Tokyo
Oh,
from
my
Boys Town,
goodness.
Nebraska.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
look
Give
at
me
these
the-
little boys. Did they get passed around to Japanese politicians, or is that just like an American thing and we don't do exports? I don't know. But I
you're
found
making
this today.
Well, Brzezinski was a big fan of Japan, so I would imagine that they exported a little bit of that over there.
And then they could get them in that Epstein groove where they're locked in on the agenda and they don't vary because they're
That's right.
controlled.
That's right.
like
Like there you go. Diplomacy.
Brzezinski grew up under the thumb of communist rule,
Mhm.
and somehow that his worldview somehow was developed out of that for the rest of us.
Well, he was one of the chosen, like
His
Kissinger
worldview.
was, right? Yeah,
His
he
worldview
had
as a 4 foot tall person is
he had a very specific set of skills that he was able to offer to powerful people,
mostly
and they
dashboard.
appreciated that. They
mean,
allowed him to come into their world.
And look where his daughter is because of it.
I mean, maybe that's the punishment. Who knows? I don't know.
You highway to hell.
Do you want to spend the rest of your life with Joe Scarborough? Really?
I wouldn't want to spend my life with the rest of my
Hey,
life.
I know
with
somebody that already did spend the rest of her life with Joe Scarborough.
Right?
It wasn't very long. Didn't last
But
very long, did it?
Did hey, it was one afternoon actually. Hey.
That's true because it's true.
Yeah, I don't think that's a romantic relationship, to be honest with you.
Some enchanted evening.
I don't. But
The
I'm
crazy
getting
thing
old, so I'm
is
not.
that shit happens on the internet, fucking on a fucking hourly basis.
I'm not trying to murder any interns, so I guess I don't know what love is, Tom. That's what I'm saying.
Love hurts, brother.
That's right.
You pay a price for everything in life.
That's right. You haven't really loved somebody until you've been willing to murder an intern, Rob.
You know, you're never going to be mayor until you're willing to murder someone. You're never going to be in charge of the public library until you're a convicted pedophile. You know, I mean, you can't be anybody in this world. It's like run by fucking freaks, right? Don't you have to be tapped
You have to be
in there?
part of the group.
Yeah, you have to go through the initiation. Like you join a gang, you got to get beat in or fucked in or whatever. Like, right?
Exactly.
Jumped in. You got to murder somebody.
Yeah, apparently
right?
the way it works,
really get in, now you got to go do a hit. It's the same.
You
kind
have
of,
to compromise yourself in some way.
Yeah, I was there with
you
Billy
have
Jacobs.
to allow yourself to be leveraged in such a way that your entire life could be destroyed.
Basically,
in an
you're
instant.
willing to sell your soul.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
That's perfect. Tom.
Starting
That's
out,
absolutely
starting
perfect.
out, jerking off in front of your dad in college is a great start to show everybody you're a team player and you're down.
I mean, that's a Bush family tradition. The Bush family tradition, but I don't know if that works for the rest of us.
We'll just apply to Yale. It's not too late.
How come Jeb didn't get in Skull and Bones is what I want to know. That's why he's not the president. That's why he was never the president.
I really think
He was in Rollin' Scones, I think.
Yeah, Jeb is just out there for comic relief. Like they all know he's a couple notches below the rest of the family.
Yeah, dude, he married outside of the family.
Yeah,
Dude, his highest goal in life is to rig an election, and he served it, bro. He's good.
Best we can do is governor, dude. I'm sorry.
Get governor, pull that trigger, rig this election, disenfranchise 80,000 blacks. Do it now. Was it 80,000 or 30,000? It was a lot of black votes.
At this point, we're all being disenfranchised one way or another.
Yeah, we're the
I mean,
new,
we always
we're
have
the new
been.
natives.
It's just, it's just ramping up now. You know what I mean?
We're the new
now
natives,
everybody's
thedrizl.
getting it.
We are the new natives.
I mean,
this
that's
is the
not.
Trail of Tears.
I'm not the first person that said that, but it's
Yeah.
the most appropriate thing I can think of.
That's the one thing I keep saying when I come on here. It's the Trail of Tears 2.0. Here we go. This is us. We're the Indians. Yeah.
Haven't you heard? Confused old people weren't able to punch through their ballot enough in Florida, and the Supreme Court decided that George Bush won over Al Gore. I mean, that's the history I remember.
Listen, I went to high school in a town that protested to get the fluoride put back in their water.
A bunch of toothless
I'm dead
motherfuckers,
ass.
I'm sure.
I'm dead ass. They protested to get the fluoride put back in their fucking water, dude. And they have this, like, you know, like the white guilt, but it's like the white redneck guilt because they're from the country area, so they have to really be an ally, and you know what I mean. They're going really hard into the fucking libtard programming, like extra, because they have something to prove. You know, I'm not a guy that shears sheep and creates useful wool that makes socks to keep people warm and provides for my family. No, not me. You know what I mean? Like we're fucked up over here. But I liked it about this town. That's why I settled here, because in the early the 90s, you know, being liberal was cool still.
You got to be the grand wizard of the local clan, you're saying?
I don't even know what I'm saying. I used to make fun of a guy because he sheared sheep for a living. And he was dating a friend of mine, and I was like, you're dating a farm boy, you know? Find somebody with a brain.
Now you admire that guy?
Yeah, I admire the fuck out of that guy. He fucking get down with a bunch of beasts and fucking they're strong and dangerous, and he's like, I just want to help you. And they need help because if you don't shear them, they're like bred to be fucked up from it, you know? So he's doing everybody a favor, and we get socks.
Socks
there you go.
Are a positive thing.
Fuck yeah, wool socks.
Yeah, people that actually do useful things are looked down upon. Like, anybody could do useful things. I have a 501c3, and I'm studying the sexual production habits of ginkgos on crack or whatever. You know, like fucking.
I'd check that out. That might be kind of fun to watch, man. No.
Like the USAID money, we were talking about USAID. I looked through the list, all the fucking millions they send for different things, and it's like crazy shit.
They funded like something like over 1,000 journalists through USAID.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal.
Fucking ridiculous.
Mockingbird is called USAID now?
Yes.
CIA is called USAID now?
USAID has been the CIA since its inception. Yeah. So I don't know if you know.
Joined late. I think we did that at the beginning of the show.
Hulk Hogan's been saying this, warning us forever. Every time he fights Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he's like, USAID. Like when he gets low and he needs help, the crowd's like, USAID, bro. He's like, that's right, NWO, USAID. I gotta get up. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, thank God he can recover from getting hit by a freaking 2x4. Not a lot of us can take a 2x4 and get up. Still pin you. I was
Bad
impressed.
Puns work better in text form.
I was impressed by his appearance at the Republican National Convention. It showed me that they meant business when they brought an old professional wrestler out in shtick doing his professional wrestler shtick.
He missed where the pre-cut rip was.
Ripped his shirt off and called everybody Trumpomaniacs. I mean, don't you guys feel like Trumpomaniacs now?
A little bit more than I'm comfortable sharing in a public forum.
I mean, nobody could get behind the senile guy who everybody knew wasn't fucking there, but they kind of
the frying pan is better than the fire.
They kept pretending like he was there, but everybody knew he wasn't. Like this guy's out there in the every media cycle. They're like scaremongering every fucking niche fucking group about how he's going to take something away that they have been getting for free from the government.
Yeah, they're going to take away your curb cuts if you don't have a black lesbian skydiving coach. or whatever. They're taking away the curb cuts for the people with wheelchairs now.
Listen, if that black lesbian is the best skydiving coach, I want her there coaching.
Yeah, me too, but she's not.
But
No fucking shot. She is not gonna
that's
be.
that's
Is
not
she
true.
hot?
There could be one.
If you're put in the job,
Is she
because
hot?
if the checkbox isn't skill,
There could be a fucking army
experience,
of there could be an army of black lesbian skydiving coaches that could fucking get you to the ground on fucking time.
Are you trying to get me hard right now? Slow down, cowboy.
That's why I asked if she was hot.
I don't care if there's an army of them, dude. I mean,
It doesn't,
if you can't get a
doesn't
10, get
matter.
5 2s. That's what Uncle Leroy said.
I'll never sell anybody short.
That'll work.
I'll never sell anybody short if they're an expert. If I can fucking quiz them on their expertise and they stand up to the test, maybe I'll be wrong and my fucking ignorance will fucking catch up with me one day. But yeah, I don't give a fuck what they look like. If they can fucking do it better than anybody else, I want them.
Totally. My friend.
Well, that's how it should be, right?
My friend is a female, and she's better at working on cars and building houses and maintaining and plumbing and all the stuff, electrical work, everything than her brother, the male in the And I think their father used to joke with him like, "She's the son I never had," and shit like that,
Right.
So it's about your aptitude totally, and attitude as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they're going, this has to check this box instead of that box. We have to check female, or triple. What is it? The triple threat, not triple threat. What's it called when you're a minority? Like you're a gay black lesbian, or you're a gay black female. I meant to say
alphabet bingo. I don't know. What do you call it?
It's like double jeopardy and
Ultimate
triple jeopardy.
victim?
That's what it's called. In the social justice programming I received in the brief college visit I went on, it's called triple and double jeopardy. So like if you're a black man, that's single jeopardy. If you're a black woman, that's double jeopardy. And if you're a gay black woman, that's triple jeopardy. You see? And those people are the ones that would get the DEI spot.
Score
the triple
points?
jeopardy people, it's like Scrabble.
I don't understand.
Yes, you get the triple word score on that DEI appointment if they are a triple.
So why if you were a gay we
were trained to do this since 2000.
Or if you were a straight black man, why wouldn't you pretend to be a gay black man so you could get extra benefits?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The system.
I guarantee there's some of that going on. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a whole stupid TV show about white fucking men pretending to be women when I was a kid with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was buddies.
That's right.
I don't know if that was pre or post pedophile.
Because they couldn't get the apartment unless they were girls. And it was the best and only apartment next to the school they went to, right? So they had to pretend to be girls.
Could you imagine them doing a show like that today? That was got canceled because of outrage because they weren't portraying transsexuals properly. Or they were fake transsexuals.
Yeah, but look at where Tom Hanks is today.
He still got a lot of little kid socks on his social media profile.
Yeah, he does, dude. That dude is gross.
Red 100%. Sox in particular, or some shit like that.
And here's what sucks, dude, is there were movies that he made that were really great movies, and some of them I liked. You know what I mean? I can't watch them no more, dude.
I mean, Forrest Gump was a good movie.
It was a great movie, dude. The war movie he did. I forgot the name of it, but
you know what's better than Forrest Gump is
Bad Santa.
That's a good movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
That's a great movie too, dude.
I know who I am. I'm a dude disguised as a dude, pretending to be another dude.
Now your mother, she's just a hoe.
That was pretty good.
That's a great movie.
I've been pretending to be a black dude myself a little bit on the side. That's why I was ready for this.
Right on.
Nice.
I'm stoked. I got all these records from a guy that lived in Baltimore, Maryland, or near Baltimore. Then he became a DJ in Steubenville, Ohio. collected all these cool records throughout the 90s and the 2000s. And then unfortunately he died.
Oh,
And
that
his
sucks.
widow, wifey, girlfriend sold these to the dude that made a buck selling them to me. And this is my dream. I've been looking for like 2 years. About 2 years I've been collecting records. This today was the fucking I got Moby Dick, dude. I
That
didn't get
sounds like a
dicked.
haul.
I hit the white whale, yeah. I did it.
Well,
I think
congratulations.
I just can't stop talking about it, and I'm so happy about it. And now I have the amount of records I needed back when I was doing my show originally, and I ran out of records.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah, if I
That's
ever do
awesome.
that again. Thank you, man.
How did you stumble upon that?
My wife found it on Facebook Marketplace in the 6-week-old listing.
It just happened to be that dude that you had been listening to all those years.
No, like it. I mean, but basically, yeah, like the same type of music. Like I imprinted on this like a baby duck, because I moved to Baltimore when I was 7, and I heard the radio. I heard like the club and R&B and hip hop music in the city for the first time in my life, and also like Samantha Fox, Naughty Girls, and all that shit too.
Oh, she was a naughty girl.
Oh, but yeah, man,
Samantha
I
Fox.
love that music, and I'm always looking for it when I go, because I'm not gonna pay top dollar and buy all these records, but I go look for a
porn
deal.
Star.
These were 40 cents a piece.
Porn
man.
star turned pop star.
I thought it was the other way around.
No,
Tracy Lords is the other way around. Tracy Lords can have me any other way around she wants.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, she was fine back in the day, boy.
In that Blade movie, in Crybaby, she was fucking top tier hot in Crybaby. John Waters.
You should see some of her pornos.
Right?
I should, but I think I'd get in trouble if I looked for them to see them again. But I sure did enjoy them when I was the appropriate age.
I don't know that I ever saw Tracy Lords in a porno.
She started in the porno industry when she was 17 years old. And so
I think she was younger than that, wasn't she? I thought she was like 16.
I think she was 17. Maybe she was 16. I don't know.
I mean, the main thing was she was underage.
I think when I was 17, I found Tracy Lords porn when she was 17 and enjoyed it very much. But I think that's probably an FBI crime by this point. So I would look for it again. To answer your question.
It was an FBI crime back then,
too. So
you're I was a minor. It was fine.
Openly on the internet is what you're saying. All right. I guess the
you don't want to look for Tracy Lords porn. But
the authorities will be busting down your door later, looking for Tracy Lords.
I just meant to say she was really hot in Crybaby.
Crybaby? I don't even know what that movie was. Who was she in?
Oh, that movie's great. And some of the records we got have songs from the soundtrack, like Shaboom.
Well, I think the way it went was Samantha Fox was a porn star and became a pop star.
Tracy Lords was a porn star and became a pop movie an actress.
She wasn't. No, she never became a movie star, but she started starring in mainstream movies. Is what you're trying to say.
The older she got, the more mainstream.
They were B movies, but she was in movies other than just having sex.
She plays mom in Lifetime movies and shit. I think.
Does she really?
Probably.
Why not?
By now,
I mean, it's fitting for the world we occupy now.
She's like wine mom. She's like, my kids.
Isn't every Lifetime movie like the husband's like a nasty fucker who's trying to like beat the wife or burn the house down?
There's a single mom lonely on Christmas, and the handyman just broke down in the snow, so he has to come in. It turns out he's the perfect dad because he made bacon and eggs in the morning or something. I don't know, and they're in love now. It's good.
Because he fucked her with a condom, without fingering her asshole.
Bacon and eggs brings everybody together. You know what I'm saying?
Without fingering her asshole the first time, she's hooked. I got a long game. I'm keeping my stamina. Have a ganache.
Sometimes that's appealing.
I mean, it is Lifetime, Rob. So you're actually you're on brand there.
I think by that time, you've already learned all this in 6th grade from the library books, right? They were passing out condoms for me in 6th grade. So
Were
They were passing
Yeah.
out condoms?
I mean, you had to go ask for them, but they were like telling everybody that they could go ask for them at the nurse's office, like in the announcements, like, if
I
you want some
mean,
condoms, go get them
I
from the
know,
nurse.
I know
They
they're
give you a
out
bag
there.
like 200.
I know they're out there,
Damn.
but they've never been very useful to me personally.
So did they like ask you like where you
There's
were
a
going to
weird,
use them, or was it just like here you go?
yeah, just here
Fucking
you
party
go.
balloons.
They had to deal
Damn.
with lifestyles, bro.
Fuck yeah.
The
Them
mayor,
shits would have
whoever, they
been
were trying to
all over
control
the
the teenage
neighborhood by the end of
pregnancies,
the week.
bro. They were everywhere.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Hey, give kids shit for free. Yeah, go ahead. See what happens.
I carried 2 of them around for like 3 years, and they never did anything for me. I kept going, "When, Lord, when?" They're getting all fucked up and ratty. I gave my bag to that dude that actually used them. I'm fuck.
Where's Tracy Lords when I need her at the bus
Where's
stop?
Tracy Lords? There was this girl at the bus stop that I was like sprung on back in the ghetto, and she was hanging out with the older boys, and they'd give her beer and stuff. And we're like too fucking young for that. Like, guys have always been fucking sick. She was probably 13, 12. Dudes like adults, probably, late teens.
As long as you didn't
Badass
perpetuate the
gangster
cycle,
dudes.
RBL.
No, yeah, and I talked to female friends of mine from like the small town in West Virginia, as opposed to the ghetto where I was just talking about it in Baltimore. The small town of West Virginia is probably worse, with old guys. She's like, yeah, this guy made me feel special when I was 12. Her, I'm like, oh, and nobody in the town said anything, huh?
Well, yeah. Talk to guys near Camden, New Jersey, about the crackheads that they grew up with, and you get all kinds of stories.
If you, and this is crazy. This guy was like 20, late 20s, and he brought a girl to my bar. I was a bartender that wasn't even 18, let alone 21. Was like, this is my girlfriend. It's fine with her parents, blah, blah, blah. And it was telling me how it was cool and shit. And sitting here, and I was like, you guys have to leave, And I was like angry. I wanted to follow this dude out and like hit him with a, like, I don't know why, dude. Just like the fucking balls on this motherfucker, the way he was acting.
It's like fucking minor trafficking.
Basically. I remember being a teenager and hanging out, and there'd always be some weird old fucking dudes coming skeezing around on the girls and shit, And I hated those motherfuckers, dude. I gotta keep that hate. I gotta keep that pure good hate forever, man. I can never be like, oh, now that I'm 45, I think I could be okay to date an 18 or 19-year-old because she's ready and emotionally and intellectually we could be. But fuck that, dude. I need to not do that and hate that mother. That's fucking predatory shit. That's an undeveloped fucking person being taken advantage of and like molded and shit. I don't know, dude. I'm not down with that, really. Even if the law says it's cool for like a 50-year-old to date an 18-year-old or whatever Leonardo DiCaprio wants to do.
I don't think
Leonardo DiCaprio is
really Bill Belichick dating what is she? She's
mentally
like
connecting
21
to
years
these
old.
girls.
You don't
Is
think
he
that's
really?
Right? Yeah. She's
No.
a smoke show too.
I think if she's 25, it can start to not matter anymore because her brain's done developing. She's who she wants.
I'm not sure if she is.
Make a
I don't think
decision.
she is.
She can make a decision at 25.
They were plastered all over. Yep, there we go. Let's see. I'm not going to show it because she doesn't have much covering her body, and this is a family show.
Let's talk about Woody Allen's daughter.
It does not say what her age is, but she is many decades younger than him. She's many decades younger than me. I guarantee that.
Yeah. It's like they're legally old enough to do whatever, but it's like they're not mentally. it's like you're taking advantage of somebody. It's like you're like Lestat the vampire, because like you've seen all the game and all the shit been run so many times. So you're like, Bruno puppet strings on whoever. It's like a kid.
Do you think that he came on to her or she came on to him? Because
If
there's a whole
I had
bunch of
to stake
women.
my life on it, I'd say she approached him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Play on an old man's ego.
Mm-hmm.
And what man wants to feel like he's an old man in the out of the game?
Well, he's got
As long as
money
you're-
too. So
Yeah, as long as you're still like functioning and kicking, who wants to feel like they're out of the game?
that is true.
How old is Belichick?
72.
My demon. I'm fighting my demon.
So good for
Well, hey,
him.
dude. I mean, if you're 72 years old and you can still fucking get your fucking penis hard, good for you, brother.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Brought to
why
you by
you
Pfizer.
will never see Liberty Radio dick pills. I can definitely make everybody that promise. That's probably just the best place to leave it for this week, because by the time we get ready to do all of this again, it'll be Valentine's Day, and we can start talking about dick pills all over again. Don't
Or just
forget.
get backed harder on Thursday.
There you go. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the Anarchy. On Sunday, Mob Rules, you fools, and you never know. There might even be a Peasants podcast on Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, you guys are on your own. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.